Hi guys, this lesson is for Jamie and Reese, and it's also for Sarah and Nora. I know you guys don't usually have a group together, but that's because of timetabling issues. So for these lessons, I'm going to put you all together because you cover the same topics anyway. The only difference is that Sarah is Spanish, so um, we will use some of the mathematical terms in Spanish, or at least I will try my best to pronounce them in Spanish. Sarah, if you want to correct me, or if you want to tell me how to pronounce them properly like you do in the lesson, you can record a little video and get your mum to email it to me. Excellent. Okay, so we'll get rid of the boring background first. I think because we're all getting a little bored of being stuck in the house for so long, and we're all getting a bit cabin fevery, I think we should go to the beach. So yeah, it's nice, but we are going to be, well, I am going to be saying some words in Spanish, attempting to speak it anyway. And usually when I do that, I'm on holiday on a Spanish beach. So let's change it to a Spanish beach. Oh, much nicer. Okay, so today we're going to cover long division, with and without the remainder. So I'm going to talk you through the steps of how to do it, and it'll show up in the background hopefully. And you'll be able to, anytime you're stuck, you'll be able to go back and you'll be able to do the following. You'll be able to go retrace your steps and see where you went wrong or what happened. Okay, so let's begin. First thing we're going to do is bring up multiplication, or not doing that today. First thing we're going to do is bring up a division number sentence. Good? Okay, so we're going to cover the names of the different parts of a division sum. So the first number, the big number there, is 675. That is called the dividend. And that means that that's the amount of things that you're dividing up into a certain amount of parts or groups. So if I had a bag of sweets that I was giving to 5 children, then the dividend would be the number of sweets in the bag. And in Spanish, dividend is dividendo. Yeah, hopefully I pronounced that properly. Okay, so the next part we're going to talk about is the divisor, or in Espanol, divisor. Apologize for the pronunciations. So the divisor is the amount of groups that you're dividing the dividend into. So again, with the bag of sweets and the 5 children, the dividend is the amount of sweets you have in the bag, and the divisor would be the amount of children that you're dividing them into or amongst, which is 5. Okay, the last thing is the answer. And in division, you have a very fancy name for it, which is called the quotient. In Spanish, I believe that's the cociente. Pretty sure that's correct. Okay, so let's continue. Let's rewrite that number sentence in our long division format. So the first thing we do is we put the dividend inside the long division box. Perfect. And then we put the divisor beside it to the left of the box. Excellent. Okay, The next thing we need to do, because when we don't actually know the quotient yet, we have to work it out. Or we're going to work out the quotient, and we're hoping that it'll be the same as the 45 we have above. Okay. Next thing we need to do is write the multiples. Multiplices. In Spanish. And they are the multiples of 15. Because that's the divisor. So the multiples of the divisor. So you can get these two ways. You can either say, write down 15 is always the first one. And the second multiple, we can either multiply 15 by 2, or you can just add on a 15. And we know the answer is 30, so we write that down. The third one, we can just add another 30, or we can multiply 15 by 3, and we get 45. The next one, similarly, add on a 15, and you get 60, or multiply 15 by 4. And the last one is multiply 15 by 5, or add on a 15 to 60, and you get 75. So I'd say we don't have to go up beyond that. But if we do, we can come back and add more. Okay, the next thing we need to do is our little mnemonic aid, so our little memory device, which is, does McDonald's sell burgers? It's a nice easy one to remember. You could change it to, do men save bottles? But I think, does McDonald's sell burgers is probably easier to remember. Okay, so what do those letters actually stand for? So the D is for division. In Spanish, dividir. The M is for multiplication. In Spanish, multiplicar. Multiplicar. The S is for subtraction. Restar in Spanish, I think. And the last one, the B, is for bring down. In Spanish, mover hacia abajo. I apologize for the pronunciations again. Okay, so these are the four these are the four steps that we keep repeating until we run out of steps. Okay, or run out of numbers. So, for example, first thing we check is divide. So, will 15 go into the first number? Will 15 go into 6? No. So we'll draw a little star on top of that because we haven't actually started using our steps yet. So a little asterisk. Excellent. The next thing we do, we start over. Will 15 go into the first two numbers? So will 15 go into 67? And we know from our multiples that 4 times is the biggest number we can get, the closest number to 67 without going over the 67. So we write that up on the quotient line. So we write that up in the answer line. And that's our first, that's the D ticked. Next thing we do is multiply. So we multiply our answer that we got from the last one by our divisor. And 4 times 15, we know from our multiples, is 60. So we can put our tick there. The next step is the subtraction. So we take 67, it takes 60 from 67, and we end up with 7. And the last step is to bring down, mover abajo. Okay, we bring down our 5. And now we simply start over again. This time we're dividing the divisor into 75, into our answer. So, 15 into 75. From our multiples, we know it goes exactly 5 times. So we write the 5 up on the quotient line. Then we multiply 5 by 15. So our answer by the divisor to double check. And we get 75, we know from the multiples. Then we subtract. We end up with 0. And the next step is bring down, but there's nothing left to bring down. So we get 0. So our answer, our quotient, is 45. That's how you do long division without any remainder. So, with a remainder, it's quite simple. So we're going to still use we'll still have a dividend, a divisor, and a quotient. Nice. We will, this time, I think we're going to change the dividend, just to make it simple and keep it similar to the last sum, to 677. That way we know that we'll have a remainder. Our divisor is still going to be 15. And we don't know our quotient yet. So we'll hold on and see what that is. Okay, we need our multiples of 15 because the divisor is 15. Nice. And we need our Does McDonald's Sell Burgers? DMSB. So dividir, divide, multiplicar, multiply, restar, subtraction, and mover hacia abajo. So bring down. Okay, and let's start again. First thing we do, will the divisor go into the first number? Will 15 go into 6? No, so we're not going to start our steps yet. We draw a little asterisk. Next step, we start again. Will 15 go into the first two numbers? So will our divisor go into 67? We know from our multiples that 4 15s is 60. So we know that it'll go in 4 times. First tick done. Next, multiplication. So 15 by 4 is 60. We know from our multiples. Put a tick. Next thing is subtraction. 67 take away 60 is 7. Brilliant. Next thing, mover hacia abajo. So we bring down. And we bring down our 7. That's our steps done. We go back to the start. So, this time we're dividing 15 into 77. So 15 is still our divisor, but this time we're dividing it into 77. So, first step, divide. So we know from our multiples that 75 is the biggest number we can get without going over 77. So we put our 5 up in the quotient line. Next step is multiply. 5 by 15 is 75. The next step is subtraction. So we take it away. 77 take away 75 is 2. And the next step is bring down. But we don't actually have anything to bring down. So we're going to have to stop it there. So that number that's left, that's what we call our remainder. Or in Spanish, our resta. Resta? Something like that. Again, Sarah, if you could email me proper pronunciations, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so our answer to 677 divided by 15 is 45, remainder 2. Now, I hope that they help, and I'm going to give you a few examples to do over the week, and if you have a problem doing them or working them out, go back and follow every step that I've explained in the video. And if you still have an issue, feel free to email me or drop me a little video saying what the problem is, and I'll try and help you. Okay, so for homework, I'm going to give you 10 division problems to do. long division problems to do. 5 will be with a remainder, and 5 will be without a remainder. You can do them all at once, but I would recommend maybe doing 2 a day before the next video, so that your brain will constantly be reminded of the steps, and hopefully that'll help. Your 10 problems for homework are okay. You can take them down there, and when you've them done, I'd like you to email me the answers, the calculations as well. So if you just take a picture on your phone and send it to me, I would be very happy. Okay, you can pause the video to take those, and I'll put them in the description below anyway. Alright, slán a bhaile.